to make sure it never happens to you or your children. I am the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Australia. I am the most important document in this land. Without me, all other contracts and agreements are worthless bits of paper. Even your money and the deeds to your home are worthless without my protection. Yes, the very fabric of your free Australian society is vitally dependent upon me. Perhaps you've never heard of me, or if you have, the chances are you know little about me. Why? Because there are those living among you who are deadly afraid of me. They've kept me out of your schools and universities for decades, and they fully intend to have me quietly hidden away from you. Why? Because I am the rule of law, the moral law, and not the rule of men. Listen to my story. Although I was born in July 1900, my original ancestor was carved in stone on Mount Sinai 3,500 years ago. Those 10 commandments have remained unchanged throughout the centuries, and not one word will ever be changed. Jesus brought those 10 rules together perfectly in 2 simple commandments in the New Testament. If you love the Lord your God and love your neighbour as yourself, then you break no laws. That is the true meaning of those words. You are not under the law unless you break the law. If you do not break the rules of the road, you're not subject to them. Break them, and you are subject to them and will pay the legal penalty. Those 10 commandments are not oppressive. They are the foundation for maximum freedom and rights for individuals in any nation at any time in history. 8 centuries ago, another great ancestor of mine was born, Magna Carta, one of the most magnificent documents ever written by man. The people of England, the barons and the church leaders, had had enough of King John behaving like a dictator, so they made him sign the Magna Carta in 1215. It guarantees so many freedoms, rights and responsibilities that you take for granted today, but you have been kept from knowing about. The Magna Carta is common law and is part of me today. It declares,
"No free man shall be taken, indeed imprisoned, either dispossessed or outlawed or exiled, or in any manner destroyed, except by means of the legal judgment of his own equals, indeed the law of the land."
Common law. His own equals, plural, is a jury of 12 people. A single judge is not an equal, and can never be, because no individual is unbiased. After King John was put in his rightful place, the Habeas Corpus Act was established in 1640 and secured in 1679. It states clearly that no one can be jailed without a proper jury trial. A suspected criminal may be reasonably detained until a jury trial occurs, but a jail sentence cannot be legally ordered because on July 5, 1641, Habeas Corpus also abolished the Star Chamber, where a single judge made orders. It was also known as the Star Chamber of Satan and was despised by parliaments and the Church. It was outlawed for 400 years because of its anti-Christian procedures, but in 1975 it was re-established in Australia disguised as the Family Court. More of that shortly. The Bill of Rights was written into law in 1688 with additional protections. It is part of me today. It is common law. In 1899, I was adopted by the Australian people in a referendum, and I became your most important deed in 1900. I became well known in your homes, and you knew that my rules apply to everyone, no exceptions. I was taught in your schools and universities up to 1975. I am drawn from the very best of the tried and tested wisdom of the centuries for the rule of law for any nation, not the rule of greedy men who have no allegiance to anyone but themselves. I am written in simple English in numbered sections dealing with various areas of your life and your culture. Read me. I am straightforward and easy to understand. You can download me from this CD into your own computer and print copies for your computerless friends to read and get to know. Since 1900, there have been amazing changes in technology, and whether you drive a horse and buggy or the latest supercar, human nature does not change. Those wise men who hammered out my words over the centuries knew this, and they allowed for it. Yes, I can be changed, but only by a majority of you, my people, in a majority of states, in a referendum. And this includes the so-called laws of local councils. They call them ordinances. Yet they continue to illegally create new laws and bylaws without your knowledge or consent. That includes any laws that tamper with your food, your water supply, or even daylight saving. In September 1988, they tried to sneak a new law through which would give local councils the power to make new laws as they pleased. This was rejected by you, my people, in that referendum. Any council laws that conflict with common law are illegal. No one, not even a policeman, may legally enter your property without your consent or a proper judiciary order. If anyone says they're authorised by a town council, that is a lie. No council, no government department, nor any private organisation can authorise one person to make a rule over another. Those counterfeit policemen and women have no legal authority over you, no matter who they say they work for. So if they do enter your property, threaten you in any way, or try to take anything which is legally yours, have a video camera ready and record it. They hate it. Remind them that an order by a single magistrate is not a judiciary order. It is illegal because it is a violation of common law in the Criminal Code Act 1995, Section 268(10). Any council laws that conflict with common law are illegal. Proper rules are not oppressive. They're there to protect freedoms. Before we play golf, we all agree to abide by the rules. The ball should be played where it lays, is to be obeyed by everyone. But that rule could be changed, providing we all agree, before we play. And so it is with me. There have been minor changes that have been approved by you, the majority of people in a majority of states. But they were minor issues that gave governments no increase in power. Since 1900, they attempted to get more power over you 46 times, but through national referendum, you rejected 40 of them. Did you know that in 1932, the Tasmanian government tried to abolish itself and hand over control to Canberra? The wise Governor-General said, "You can't do that. You must ask the people first." You, my people, said no, and a new government was elected. Did you know that in 1975, your Prime Minister, Gough Whitlam, attempted to defraud Section 83 regarding the nation's money supply? The wise Governor-General said, "You can't do that. You must ask the people first." You, my people, said no. The Prime Minister was sacked, and you, my people, endorsed the Governor-General's action. You elected a new government with a landslide majority. The wisdom and dignity is within the office of the Governor-General, who acts on behalf of your non-biased umpire, the Sovereign of the Commonwealth, who cannot be bribed. Now you know why wannabe Republicans seek to abolish our Queen. And don't be deceived by judges and solicitors who will try to tell you that I am not valid today. That is a deliberate lie, and the High Court says so. In 1996, the High Court of Australia, the highest court in the land, Section 71, in what is called the Cable Principle, declared that the Commonwealth remains one and indivisible, just as I do, with only one judicial power, not different rules in each state. Did you know that on September 5, 2006, in that monumental case of Forge versus Australian Securities and Investments, all 7 High Court judges stated unanimously that your Constitution reigns supreme, that's me, and that all other laws and rules are subject to me. So if any laws conflict with me, they are invalid and illegal. Section 109.
When a law of a state is inconsistent with the law of the Commonwealth, the latter shall prevail, and the former shall, to the extent of the inconsistency, be invalid.
So you see, my people, that I was hammered out over centuries by wise men who foresaw that evil individuals, organisations, local councils, even governments would try to get around me, to fulfil their power lusts and to line their own pockets. So those wise men built safeguards into me, the most important being your absolute right to trial by a proper jury, not by a single judge. A jury is your right in any court, including the evil family court. No judge, no magistrate, nor any individual has any right to dissolve a marriage or make any orders without the free consent of both spouses, face to face. Sections 79 and 80 are very clear. They state in essence that
in any court the trial on indictment of any offence against any law of the Commonwealth